This is Hydra Island. It's considered to be one of the most beautiful and scenic islands in Greece, and chances are you have never heard of this place before. Both historic and modern at the same time, this elegant place will definitely steal your heart. Hydra features some of the country's most beautiful landscapes. This tiny island provides a perfect place for reflection and inspiration, and you can feel how time here becomes eternal. This is one reason why so many creative people used to spend their summers here, and even lived on Hydra for many years. Lots of very famous writers, musicians and artists love to enjoy their time on the island, and even now it has remained a source of inspiration for many. Hydra is one of those places that has magic, something special and unique that instantly touches your heart. I hope that this video will inspire you to visit this beautiful place someday and experience it yourself. The island of Hydra has a long history with the sea. In ancient times, it was known for rich inland springs of water, and that's where the name Hydra comes from. The name is derived from a Greek word Hydreia, which meant water back in the day, so the right pronunciation of the island's name is Hydra, rather than Hydra. The crescent-shaped cobblestone harbor welcomes you with a traditional 18th century Greek architecture. Most people live within a small area of Hydra harbor, and everything beyond is just pure nature with peaks, cliffs, forests and monasteries. There are lots of picturesque views in Hydra. You just have to take a new way every time you go home. Just take a look. The atmosphere feels like you are in 19th century, but with all the contemporaries of the modern world. There are no cars allowed, so everything is carried only by mules, carts or hands. You can't just build a new house here. Usually you buy an older one and renovate it. This is the secret to how this elegant town is so very well preserved and maintained. The pace of life is very leisurely, and you feel this the moment you take your first step on shore. Not spoiled by mass tourism yet, this quiet island stays true to its origins and preserves all Greek traditions and culture. Today, Hydra has a population of around 3,000 people, but in 19th century there were 26,000 people living here. Back in those days, it was a very economically successful commercial port with more than 100 vessels. Nowadays, tourism is a main part of the economy. From April to October, it's the hot season here. In the summer, it's of course all about the water activities, and Hydra has many superior beaches to offer. There are many trails that run all over the island, so hiking is very popular on Hydra too. It's a good idea to climb the highest peak of Hydra to have a spectacular view over the town. In the 19th century, Hydra was one of the major players in a war of independence against the Ottoman Empire, and the island handcrafted more than 100 battleships. Busts of admirals and ramparts with cannons scattered all over the town reminds visitors of a long naval history. The old cannons have been protecting the entrance into the Hydra harbor. However, history tells us that there were no battles on the island and no cannon was ever fired. Almost everywhere you can find the remains of small defense towers that served as a protection measure 200 years ago. Hydra is famous for its ban on cars, and this makes the island so unique and special. The only way of getting around is either by foot, by mules, or by water transport. Even bicycles are not allowed. However, I did spot a few. This is all made to save the architectural heritage and to not damage the cobblestone roads. There are some exclusions to the ban on cars. I was able to find fire department's cars, trash cars, and ambulance cars. I found the police, and it looks like they don't have a car. Maybe that's because the island is considered to be very safe. Of course, one of the most beautiful and amazing parts of Hydra is its great beaches. There are many incredible beaches on Hydra, with crystal clear turquoise water and breathtaking views. Some of them are only accessible by foot, and others only by a water taxi. Some of them are crowded, and on some of them you will be all alone. Every spot is very unique and different and worth visiting, but one shared attribute is that they all have pebble coasts, so you have to be aware of that. I have put together a list of some must-see places for your visit to Hydra. The first one is called Avlaki, and it's the closest to the Hydra town. It takes only about 5 minutes to get here if you live close to the harbor. You have to check in here at least once, as the coastline surrounding these beautiful cliffs is in a world breathtaking. The second one is called Kamini, and right away you will notice differences from its neighbor in every aspect. It has loungers and parasols and a cool bar that serves tasty cocktails with a stunning view on water. The number of yachts parked along the coast will amaze you, if you love yachts, of course. On Hydra, not every location is accessible by foot. To get to the most beautiful sites, you would need the help of a water taxi. Water taxis are cruising between beaches all day, so you have several options for when to come and when to leave. They depart right from the harbor, so they are very convenient and easy to find. The boat ride is a great experience itself, as you will see all sides of Hydra. You will get to see the forests, lonely homes on peaks, and small monasteries. You will definitely enjoy the ride over the beautiful parts of Hydra. Among all the beaches of Hydra, this one is the first on my list. It's called Beastie, and it's probably one of the coolest locations I have ever visited in my entire life. This beach is covered in pine trees, and the contrast between the green color of the trees and blue color of the water simply blows your mind. This beach is only accessible by boat, and a two-way ticket will cost you 12 euros. You can hang out here all day and still not get bored by its atmosphere. There are all the amenities needed, including a small bar that serves drinks, snacks, and even simple food like a Greek salad. The next unique beach on my list is called San Nicolas, and is the farthest away from the harbor. It costs 15 euros to get here by boat, and you will spend approximately 25 minutes on your way. This beautiful beach gives a refreshing feel of relaxation and calmness. I highly recommend coming here. 30 minutes of walking along the sea path toward the port of Kamini and past it will get you to the Vliches beach. This is also a good spot to hang out, but make sure you take sunscreen lotion, as a long walk under the strong Greek sun gives high chances of getting a sunburn. Also, good advice would be to buy special swimming shoes. Because of the small rocks, it may be a bit uncomfortable to get into the water, but that is true with almost every spot on the island. There are many other captivating sites, and featuring all of them may require another video. Alongside Hydra's picturesque coastline, you will find many options, from well-organized spots with loungers and parasols to simple stone sunbathing platforms with steps into the sea. Hydra has really interesting and unique spots to offer. I have no doubt that you will find the one that touches your heart and fits all your criteria. During your stay on Hydra, you will notice two eye-catching things. These are how many cats are on the island and how the Hydra people are good at door design. Almost every house on Hydra is the same style. but the small details like doors and windows are what make the streets unique and different. Most of the doors are squared, which means they are relatively new. The ones that are rounded are the older ones. These come from the 19th century. The oldest door I saw was crafted 200 years ago, as I was told later. The doors can be pink, blue, dark blue, gray, white and even yellow. There is such a big variety of them that I think they should be treated like some kind of exhibit. As for cats, they are literally everywhere. This isn't something unique to Mediterranean islands, but this was the first time that I saw 10 cats at the same time in one place. Hydra offers a crazy amount of restaurants, cafes and traditional tavernas. There is tons of good food on Hydra, and each place amazes us with something unique. Some of the places are worth just one-time visit, and some places you will want to return to again and again. It was very convenient that all places accept credit cards, so I didn't have to carry around cash. The prices are more expensive than you might expect from Greece, but at the end of the day, it was okay because it was extremely delicious. Greeks are super hospitable, and you can feel free to pick absolutely any place that looks good to you. Some places feel like home, where they let you in the kitchen to literally pick what you want. And some places are extremely modern with very delicious food and super professional stuff. Greek cuisine is mostly grilled meats based. It includes fine lamb, chicken or sometimes cod. Also, there is very fresh seafood like shrimps, sardines, calmars, homars and octopus. There are also several bars and at least 2 locations where people gather at night. I wouldn't say that it's about crazy and loud parties here. It's just about relaxing and having an enjoyable time with a nice cocktail or a glass of wine during an interesting conversation with other people. I was really impressed with some restaurants. I didn't expect them to be so good. I have to admire that the Greeks are taking their cuisine very seriously. Hold on a minute. I believe I forgot a part where I tell you how exactly to get on an island. So let's rewind it a bit. The way to Hydra is actually not that complicated. As I mentioned earlier, the only way to get here is by ferry. From the airport, you have to get to the seaport first, and then hop on a ferry which gets you to Hydra. There are several transport options, from a taxi and a bus to a train. We took a bus as it waits for you right outside of the airport. The 6 euros per person ride gets you to the seaport in 2 hours. It's a bit loud and the roads are bumpy, but it works. The taxi will cost you nearly 40 euros and there is an Uber-like app for it. The ferry to Hydra costs 30 euros and you can buy your tickets online. It departs 5 times a day, so you have plenty of options. It's a good idea to visit some nearby cafes while you are waiting for a ferry. The ride is pretty comfortable and takes approximately 2 hours. You can even have a good sleep there. Before visiting Hydra, the ferry will have only one quick stop in Poros port. With regards to housing, there are no big globally known hotels on Hydra. You can either stay in a small private hotel or rent an apartment. Bus options involve staying in renovated old buildings, which feel like home and are very authentic and cozy. We went with the Airbnb option and we paid approximately 130 euros a day. Make sure to check the Airbnb app to find the best offers. There are many options to choose from. Select days that you want to travel, apply all the needed filters, and you will find the best matches. If you create a new account using the link below in the description, you will get $40 off of your first booking. During my stay on Hydra, I met some of the nicest people from all over the world. Some of them told me that they have been traveling here for 35 years in a row. Every trip to this special place only makes you want to return here time after time. While you're here, you immediately forget about all the problems of the world and just relax and feel the good vibes. Leaving this place was very hard to accept, as the Hydra coastline views and breathtaking sunsets are hard to replace with anything else. Unfortunately, this spectacular journey has its end. Short trips don't work with this island, and I wish I stayed here for a few more days. I enjoyed every minute spent in this magnificent place, and I hope that someday I will come back again. I would like to thank you for watching this video. This was my very first project and it means a lot to me. Please subscribe and share, there is more to come in the future.